It is considered one of the most influential civic leadership positions in all of Central New York. Joining us now, the new Central New York Community Foundation President and CEO, Melanie Littlejohn. Melanie, great to see you. Thanks for being with us. Happy New Year.
Oh, same to you, Jeff, and thank you for having me on.
Certainly, you're no stranger to Central New York or this kind of community leadership engagement. I mean, it's basically what you did for about 30 years at National Grid and all those boards and committees you're on. How seamless a transition from what you've done to what you will be doing?
I think the transition for me is just location. I've had a wonderful career at National Grid, and for the last almost 30 years, I've had an opportunity to go throughout the state, including what I call home, Central New York. And now I'm coming back home to put my full attention to Central New York, and I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, that maybe goes to my next question of why did you want the job at the Community Foundation? Is it to really kind of be able to be centered back in Central New York? I mean, at Grid, you were kind of all over the place, but is that part of the reason?
Absolutely, it's a part of the reason. Central New York, when I moved to this community, me and my husband moved to this community about 35 years ago now, 35 years ago, welcomed me and embraced me. And then shortly after moving back here, I had a couple of roles in nonprofit. You might remember the Urban League of Onondaga County. And then shortly after that, I went to Niagara Mohawk.
Yes, we're going back.
And where I was able to continue my journey on community engagement, and then grew my career at National Grid and ultimately covered the state. So I want to come back home. And this gives me that opportunity to still embrace, love, and give the community and the region that welcomed me. I'm coming back home to just continue to give to it exclusively.
Perfect. I know you don't officially start with the Community Foundation until March, but what's kind of an overall vision as you sit right now for Central New York in this new role?
So when I think about the Central New York Community Foundation, and I think about the landscape that we are experiencing and seeing now with all of this tremendous amount of change, Community Foundation has always been a staple and a center in this community. And I expect that will continue and certainly even expand in the years ahead, because so many phenomenal things are going on with growth and transition and creating a new level of excitement in this community. And the Central New York Community Foundation will be right in the middle of it, along with all of you.
Got about a minute left. You are the Micron Community Engagement Committee co-chair, which is basically helping ensure the company's $500 million community fund meets the needs of our community. First, you keeping that job? And second, how impactful is that, and how does that work with Community Foundation?
You know, it is perfectly aligned, actually. When I think about being entrusted from a community foundation with the responsibility of donor and fund holders' assets, and how do we deploy it for priorities, and then to be in the middle of helping understand and gather and communicate what the priorities are for Micron and the whole of Central New York, those two marry together, right? So that we can be in perfect sync to meet the needs of this community in a very real, impactful, and sustainable way. And so couldn't be more excited about bringing, coming back home to do this work on both the region, Community Foundation, and as well the Central New York Community Engagement Committee as well.
Melanie Littlejohn, we are excited to have you back full-time in that role here. We'll talk more in the future. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.